Imagine living in a city where every time the sun goes down, you wonder if tonight could be your last. A place where the quiet sound of footsteps behind you makes your heart race, because somewhere out there, hidden in the shadows, is a man who kills not for money, not for revenge, but for something far darker: fame, fear, and control. This was the reality for thousands of people in California during the late 1960s, when the mysterious figure who called himself the Zodiac turned everyday life into a nightmare. Started like a whisper. December 20th, 1968. A young couple sat inside a car on a lonely road near Vallejo, California. What should have been an innocent night out ended in horror when a stranger approached, opened fire, and left them for dead. The case shook the local community, but at first, it looked like just another tragic murder. Then came July 4th, 1969. Fireworks lit the sky, but so did the flash of gunfire. Another young couple attacked in their car. This time, the killer made a phone call to the police himself. Calm, collected, almost proud, he confessed to the crime and to the murders before it. That was the night the Zodiac revealed himself to the world. But the killings weren't the most terrifying part. It was the game he played with the entire state of California. The Zodiac sent letters to newspapers, daring them to publish his words. If they refused, he threatened more lives. Inside those letters were symbols, strange codes, ciphers that promised to reveal his identity. Families gathered around newspapers, trying to solve them, while police worked desperately for answers. Some of the codes were cracked, revealing twisted messages about his love for killing. Others remain unsolved to this very day. And that was the power he held. Not just the ability to end lives, but to live inside people's minds, to turn fear into his weapon. The Zodiac didn't stop at isolated attacks. He claimed responsibility for dozens of murders across California, though not all could be proven. Each new letter sent waves of panic through the streets. Parents locked their doors earlier, young couples avoided quiet back roads, and whole communities lived in the grip of uncertainty. Police departments joined forces, detectives pored over clues, but the killer always seemed one step ahead, mocking them, taunting them, feeding off their frustration. His messages weren't just confessions. They were performances. He wanted to be remembered, to become a legend carved out of fear. The mystery, and here's where the story becomes even more haunting. Despite years of investigation, despite thousands of tips, despite handwriting analysis, suspect sketches, and endless theories, the Zodiac was never caught. Many names have been floated. Some suspects had strong evidence against them, but nothing ever stuck. Decades later, we're still left with an open wound in history, a case that seems both so close to being solved and yet eternally just out of reach. It's chilling to think that the Zodiac could have lived an ordinary life afterward, blending into society, carrying groceries, paying bills, maybe even sitting across from someone at a diner, while holding the darkest of secrets. But beyond the mystery and the horror, the Zodiac story leaves us with a lesson. Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, feeding on fear and silence. The Zodiac thrived because his identity remained in the shadows, because fear gave him power. And that's the truth we need to carry with us today. Fear only wins when it controls us. When communities come together, when people look out for each other, when justice is pursued with unity and courage, darkness loses its grip. The Zodiac may have stolen lives and left scars, but he didn't break the human spirit. The people of California learned to move forward, stronger and more aware, refusing to let fear dictate their lives. So tonight, as you lock your doors and glance out into the night, remember this. The shadows may hold mysteries, but courage will always shine brighter. The Zodiac wanted to be remembered forever, but what we should truly remember is not him, but the strength of those who endured the fear he tried to spread. This is more than just an unsolved case. It's a reminder that no matter how dark the world may seem, we have the power to choose courage over fear. If this story gripped you, hit that like button, share it with someone who loves mysteries, and subscribe for more chilling true crime stories.